So we're going to do a little bit of quiz time to go over the stuff that you just learned, all the vocabulary words that you just learned in the last video. What do you call it when both alleles are the same for a given trait? So if you have big W, and or you could have little w. When they're the same, it is called homozygous. Homo again meaning same. Oh, and it's also called pure. So Mendel would use the word pure a lot of times, especially when we talk about plants. Again, pure is not better than hybrid, just the same letters or the same alleles. What do you call it when the trait shows up only if both alleles are present? So little w. So in other words, if you have big W, little w, that trait wouldn't show up. So what do you call these little letters? What do you call those traits? And the answer here is recessive. The actual alleles for a trait, whether it's big W, or big W, or little w, what do you call it when you know exactly what alleles they have? And that is called the genotype. Think of your genes. You can't actually see your genes. You can see the result of your genes, but you can't actually see your genes unless you have one of those fancy machines that reads off your A, T, C's, and G's. So genes for genotype, those are the ones you can't see, but you've got them. So here's your genotype. What is it called if the trait shows up even if only one allele is present? So for example, you have widow's peak even though you only have one big W, and that's called dominant. An alternate version of a single gene is called an allele. A section of DNA that codes for a trait is called a gene. Another way to define this is a section of DNA that codes for a protein. And of course, your proteins govern your traits. So that's a gene. What is it called when each allele of a given gene is different? So you've got one big W and one little w. They're not the same. So when they're different, it's called heterozygous. Hetero for different. And Mendel also called them hybrid. So a hybrid plant would be like if you have a white one and you mate it with a purple one. And the offspring would, whoops, oh man, I'm sorry. If you have a white one and you mate it with a purple one, the offspring are going to be little p, big P. This is going to be a hybrid or heterozygous. The physical structure or appearance of an individual with respect to a trait. So what you look like is called the phenotype. Physical features, phenotype. And that is it for quiz time.